With the latest on the weekend SuperSport walkout, the broadcaster and presenters Ashwin Willemse, Mallett and Naas Botha are due to brief a little later this afternoon. On Saturday, Willemse stated on live television that he was tired of being patronised by people who played rugby during the apartheid era. He then walked off the set. Let me take you live now to outside the SuperSport studios in Randburg, north of Johannesburg. My colleague Shahan Ramkissoon is reporting the story for us. So what then, Shahan, good afternoon to you. Do we know about this briefing a little later?
Well, Jeremy, it seems they've actually listened to our plea for coming out and speaking openly about what's happening, because SuperSport's spokesperson, Clinton van der Berg, just confirmed that they are going to have that media briefing at 3:30, 4 o'clock. What's interesting is that all stakeholders in this case are going to be present. The CEO of MultiChoice South Africa, as well as SuperSport CEO, and Jeremy, the four people who were in that studio when the incident happened. That, of course, being Ashwin Willemse, Mallett, Naas Botha, and the presenter who was steering everything at the time. They're all going to be at the media conference, I'm told. They all will be addressing the media and taking questions from us about exactly what went on. So, if we see all four of them there at the media briefing, one has to wonder what's going to happen. Is it going to be them kissing and making up? Well, we'll have to wait and see in the next 90 minutes or so. But let's speak to our reporter Shahied Joseph, who follows sport for us on eNCA. Shahied, if you see all of them come together, sit behind one table, it kind of points you to a direction as to what this press conference is going to be about.
Yeah, well, they're all important for SuperSport and specifically for the rugby channel. I mean, I've watched their show plenty of times, in fact, every week. And the banter between Mallett, Naas Botha and Ashwin Willemse is always on point. It's about rugby, and they bounce ideas off each other, and they criticize each other as well. Sometimes there's undertones of, maybe you're undermining me or not, but we'll see what happens. Are they going to move forward together, or will they be used separately with other analysts?
Now, SuperSport came out yesterday saying that they couldn't comment on whether there was bad blood between these three men, because as far as they're concerned, that's still up for investigation. What are you hearing on that regard? What have you seen watching them on SuperSport?
Well, there was a video clip that I saw from 2014 where Mallett was interrupting Ashwin while he was speaking. And he did that, I think, twice during that little interview there. And last year, I believe there was a fallout between Mallett and Ashwin. So those kind of things are swept under the rug. We need to work together. That's probably what they have to do here. And they deliver a good product, the three of them. So I'm hoping that they will work together, but I'm also hoping that the truth will prevail.
Yeah, and of course it's not going to be brushed aside when we have all media groups anxiously waiting to hear from all of those involved, especially SuperSport, Jeremy. Of course, what we do know is that SuperSport says that investigation is still ongoing. So while they are bringing out all of these stakeholders involved in this issue to come and speak to the media, it is an ongoing matter. The Portfolio Committee on Sports being quite cautious about how South Africans, of course, read into this. They're asking South Africans to be cautious about a racial divide when it comes to how things unfolded. And I guess the opinions can be derived now properly by South Africans when we hear from Ashwin Willemse himself, when we hear from him as to why he felt patronized, as to why he needed to bring up the fact that he was not a quota player. So we'll get those details around 3:30, 4 o'clock live on eNCA.
All right.